Be here tonight. I can honestly say, welcome to my neighborhood. I actually live in Elmhurst. I live about 5 minutes away from here. So we are in the 24th Senate District right now. And as an elected official, you get invited to a lot of events. And between work and family and serving, you can't go to everything. But this is an event that I really did want to go to. Because if there's anybody that elected officials in Illinois should be speaking to, it's business owners. And so I applaud you for what you're doing. Welcome to Illinois, welcome to DuPage County, and welcome to Elmhurst. I wanted to share a little bit of good news and then a little bit of bad news. First of all, I love hotels. So Springfield is about 3 hours away from where I live here, and I always stay in hotels. And I appreciate the wonderful service that I've gotten every time I've stayed in one. So keep up the great work. As an industry, I think you guys are facing some good news. So here in Illinois, we're on our 4th consecutive year of record-breaking tourism, which is a development, a fact, that is really beneficial to your industry. And then when we talk about our economy, I think we're finally starting to pull ourselves out of the recession. Things are looking better, and people are starting to travel for business again. So I think it's another very positive development for your industry. And so things are looking bright, and I encourage you to increase your efforts to identify opportunities to grow your businesses and to identify new locations where you can provide your services. And I'd love for you to give as much attention and consideration to Illinois. Now, I know Illinois has a bad rap, and it is deserved. And it's often very hard being the Illinois politician at any event where you're speaking to people from other states. We have been the butt of many jokes over the last couple of years. And it's true that Illinois has its own problems to sort out, and we are working as diligently and as hardly as we can to try to deal with those problems. We have to have a balanced budget. We have to have a regulatory and a legal and a judicial atmosphere that supports businesses, doesn't work against them. If there's anything that's important to a group like yours, and that's important to a state like Illinois, it's not to chase away any more businesses than we already have. I believe someone used the phrase, an industry under attack, and that's true. So in my private life, I'm an employment attorney, and I work with hotels. And so I'm familiar not only with some of the issues that you guys and your businesses face on a daily basis, but I'm very familiar with some of the challenges that are coming in your direction. Whether it's NLRB decisions that are trying to hold franchisees at the same level of responsibility as franchisors, whether it's occupancy tax issues, which is a big issue at the state level. You've got my commitment that as long as I serve, I will work as hard as I can to make Illinois a more business-friendly environment. And I will continue to impress upon my colleagues how important it is that we continue to make Illinois business-friendly. Because having more businesses here helps everybody. It helps the people who have jobs, it helps the vendors who provide services, and it helps industries like you that provide a place for people to spend the night when they're traveling for their business or for their job. So I want to be a resource for you as much as I can. If any of you encounter difficulties working with the state of Illinois, whether you're trying to get established, whether you are established and encounter some problems, I hope you would look me up and give me a call and let me know. I'm the kind of legislator that likes to solve problems. I know most do, but I really do want to make myself available if you feel like you're having a problem in this state. But things are great. They can be better, but they're great. In Illinois, I just gave a speech and I'm going to wrap up really quickly. I gave a speech a couple weeks ago to an Asian American group. My wife is Filipino, and we're involved with a Filipino Cultural Association that is having a convention. And I talked about the involvement of Asian Americans in politics here in the United States. And I won't give you the full story of the speech, or the full version of the speech. But an interesting fact is that Asian Americans are the fastest growing demographic in our country right now. But at the same time, they're the socioeconomic group that participates in the least amount in our political process. So you're becoming a very important political bloc, a very important group of voters, but you're not participating in the process as much as other people are. So if I can leave you with two thoughts. One, invest in Illinois. It's a great state, it's getting better, and we'd love to have your business, and we'd love to have your involvement. But two, get involved in the political process, especially here in Illinois where there's a lot being decided and there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot that could happen that could impact your industry. And I'll put a small plug in. You've got a wonderful association, and I encourage you to stay involved with your association. At the state level, there's also a group called the Illinois Hotel and Lodging Association, and some of you, I'm sure, are familiar with it. But get involved with it if you're not. Get familiar with it if you're here in Illinois operating. Find out what they're doing and find out how you can help them. Because unless you voice your opinion, unless you get involved, unless you impress upon people how important it is to have business owners in the state of Illinois, we can't do anything to help your industry. You really have to take responsibility and get involved yourself. But know that you've got partners like me that are willing to help. And so I want to say thank you. We love the fact that you're here in Elmhurst. I hope you're having a great time. This is a wonderful facility establishment that we have here in town. So I hope you enjoy yourself. Come back as often as you want to. Thank you very much for the invitation. And I hope you excuse me as I leave shortly before dinner starts. It is back to school time, and I've got 3 young kids, and we've got teacher conferences tonight. And so I've got to run off and do daddy duty while my wife runs in to meet with some teachers. So thank you very much for the invitation. Keep up the great work. And
thank you so much for having me. It's always nice to be in a place where they pronounce your name correctly. The other day I went somewhere and I said, "Hi, my name is Raja Krishnamurthy." And the gentleman looked at me and he said, "Roger Christian Murphy." I never knew that the Irish made it to India. So Chip, thank you for that warm welcome. I want to also give a special shout out to the entire AHOA leadership that's here tonight, from Jimmy to Bruce to HP to Bhavesh, obviously my local friends, Kalpesh and Chandresh, and everybody here who's done such a wonderful job of putting on this event. Can you give them a round of applause, please? They've done such a great job. And I went to the Long Beach convention, and that was the most outstanding convention I've ever been to for a trade conference. So can you give them a round of applause for that? That is an amazing conference. I came here tonight to talk about 3 things, and then I'll depart the stage. The first question that I always get asked is, who am I? The second is, what am I doing? And the third is, how can you help? First question, who am I? My name is Raja Krishnamurthy. Everywhere I go, I get asked the question, what does Raja Krishnamurthy mean? What the heck does that mean, and where did you get that name? And I say it's very simple. Translated from an ancient Asian and Indian term, it means Congressman for the 8th District of Illinois. Now, on a more serious note, I am a small businessman. Although I went to Princeton and Harvard Law School, I got my real education running a small business. I meet the payroll every month. I win customers. I take care of my employees. And like all of you, I sign not only the back of the check, I sign the front of the check. So I'm very, very, very interested in making sure that small businesses survive and they thrive, because they are the engine of the United States economy. And unless we preserve, protect, and defend small businesses, the United States economy will not prosper. Do you agree with me? I also happen to be Indian American, and I am proud to be Indian American. I am proud of my culture. I'm proud of my tradition. And my name is not Bobby Swindle. I am proud of who I am. And that's the answer to the first question, who am I? The second question, what am I doing? I'm running to be the congressman for the 8th District of Illinois. What is the 8th District? It extends from Elgin, Illinois on the west to O'Hare International Airport on the east, and from Schaumburg and Hoffman Estates on the north to the edge of Oak Brook on the south. This congressional district has one of the highest concentrations of Indian Americans and South Asians of any congressional district in the United States. It has so many Indian Americans that Schaumburg is affectionately known as Schaumburg. And someone the other day called it downtown Browntown. It has so many Indian Americans that there are 3,000 registered voters with the surname Patel. With the surname Patel. So when State Senator Nybo just a minute ago encouraged all of us to participate, what he's saying is that you have within the power of your own hands the ability to control our own political destiny in this district, the 8th District of Illinois. Now, what can you do to help? If you like what you're hearing and you like who you're looking at, I need your help. The 8th District of Illinois has a lot of Indian Americans, but unfortunately they don't vote. They don't vote. We like to talk politics, but sometimes we don't practice politics. So I ask you to do 3 things tonight. 1, spread the word. Spread the word, whether it's through social media or through email or just picking up the phone and calling people within this district and telling them, hey, did you know that there's an election coming up? Did you know that you can control the outcome of this election by voting? I know I'm looking at Babubhai Patel, and he knows firsthand because his son has been elected as a trustee of Lincolnwood for 9 years now, that the only way that we get elected to office is if we vote. So that's the first thing. Spread the message and vote. The second thing is we could sure use your financial resources. Now let me put in a plug for the AHOA PAC. All of you have to contribute to the AHOA PAC. This is one of the strongest PACs that are in Washington, D.C. And I am a prime recipient of their generosity. They have not only given me the primary max, but also the general election max. That means that they have done all that they can legally, permissibly do. Now, thanks to their leadership, what they have asked is people from all over the country to step up and give me whatever they can, whether it's $5 or $50 or $500 or $5,000. Every single dollar will count. So if you can help me tonight, I would very much appreciate it. Finally, I'd just like to close with my favorite saying, which is that yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today's a gift. That's why we call it the present. And I am honored and blessed to be with you here in the present with the leadership, the wonderful leadership of the AHOA team to celebrate our community, our industry, and our country. So God bless you, God bless AHOA, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roger. Now, if that wasn't good enough to vote for you, I don't know what else we can do, all right? So, what we can do is, you see these beautiful bumper stickers? He wisely did not put his last name on here. Only because most car bumpers aren't that long. So,
and I represent the 47th district. I just ran into my senator as I was coming in, Senator Chris Nybo. So he represents half of my district, and the other half is by Representative Peter Breen. So I'm excited to be here with all of you tonight. And just for a few minutes, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. And I agree with everything that the previous speakers were saying, because the #1 way to get people to be elected is to not just do the bumper stickers, not just do the mailings, not just do the TV, but the #1 issue is to get out and walk, and that's what I usually do. And I suggest that to anybody else that's walking, because the statistics are that 90% of the people that you shake their hand, whether they be Democrat or Republican, they will vote for you. Yeah, and I believe that's true. When I first ran, I've been a state representative for 17 years. I represent Hinsdale, Clarendon Hills, Westmont, Downers Grove. Now I represent Elmhurst, Oak Brook, and Oak Brook Terrace. I'm the deputy minority leader of the House. I'm the first woman in the state of Illinois to be the deputy minority leader, so I'm proud of that fact. And Jim Durkin is the leader of the House Republicans. Chris Redonio is the leader of the Senate. Mike Madigan is the leader of the Democrats in the House. And John Cullerton is the Senate leader. And so together, we've been working on the budget, but not as much as I would hope so. So I am the budgeteer also of our caucus. So I've been working on the budget for the last 6 months. That's why I'm a little bit late and maybe not stressed. I was going to run home. I live in Hinsdale. I have lived there for the last 42 years. And I have represented my district, which is 110,000 people in those municipalities that I was just talking about. And my number one issue that I do is social services and healthcare. I'm the minority spokesperson for the Health and Human Service Committee, and I'm also the minority spokesperson for the Human Service Committee and the Appropriation Committee, so which appropriates almost 70% of the budget of the state of Illinois goes through those two committees. So we've been working a lot because the social services have been hurt this year. But one of my other main issues is business, and that's why I'm really thrilled to be here tonight, because I have been nominated by the Illinois Chamber of Commerce for about the last 6 years to win the Freedom of Enterprise Award for all the work that I've done in my voting record on business. So I'm thrilled to be here with all of you tonight because you are the backbone of the state of Illinois. The business leaders in our state are the ones that we are trying to grow our economy, we're trying to grow our jobs, and we're trying to bring back businesses to Illinois. So we appreciate all that you do in your businesses in Illinois, and we look forward to working with you to keep you in Illinois, because that's what our main goal is in the legislature this year, especially on my side of the aisle, and I don't want to get too partisan, but that's what we're here for, is to try to bring people back to Illinois and keep the people that are here, such as yourselves, here. We appreciate everything that you're doing. You are what is our main purpose, because without keeping the businesses in Illinois, such as the hotels and the restaurants and the retail merchants, we have become the second or third leading state in outward migration, not just of jobs, but outward migration of people. And we want to turn that around, because the state of Illinois is one of the finest states in the United States. We've been bashed a lot because of the corruption in government, but the main thing is that the people that live in the state of Illinois are probably the most moral and ethical people that you will find, with the Midwest values. We're the state of Abraham Lincoln, we're the state of Barack Obama, we're the state of people who care. The agricultural background to our state brought about the hardest working values in the United States. And that's what we're all about. We're all about hardworking values, hardworking people. And so I hope that you, no matter what way you vote, whether it be Democratic or Republican, I hope that you will get out and vote, and you will encourage every single person you know to get out and vote, because unless you vote, you cannot change anything. It's the most important thing we have in the United States of America, is our freedom and our right to vote. You can vote somebody in, you can vote somebody out. You talk about term limits, I told you how long I've been in. If you look at my license plate right now, when I came in, I was number 107. I am now number 16. That means that many people have left ahead of me. There has been that much turnover. So either people liked them and they kept them in, and I'm thankful that people have liked what I've done, but if they don't like them, they just vote them out. And that's the most important thing that we have in America, is the right to vote. So I ask all of you to take that opportunity and to encourage everybody in your family to do that, because that is the most important thing, along with keeping your businesses here in Illinois and here in the United States of America. We appreciate everything that you do, and I thank all of you for being here tonight, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. My office is in Westmont. I was active with Supermani, if anybody knows Supermani in this room, and forming the Indo-American Political League years ago. And I've enjoyed working with the Asian American community. I did go visit Taiwan, and I visited China in the last 10 years, a couple of years ago. So I've enjoyed the Asian community, and I try to participate in as many Asian group activities that I can. So I thank you. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmother of 5, and I live over in Hinsdale, and I've been active in our communities for the last 40 years, or since I moved out west this way. So thank you for having me tonight, and I'm willing to answer any questions, but I don't
to have these events. So again, thank you guys. One quick note on Raja, who just left. He's got an easy-to-use website. It's Raja for Congress. If you're interested in contributing to his campaign, this is his region. You guys are the ones who can make it happen for him. He was at Long Beach Conference. He's been to one or two other regional events. He's gonna win, according to our experts here. He will win. So this is your best opportunity to contribute and be part of that win. He's one of our guys. So, see what you can to help support him. Some of us officers have also supported him because, we know that he will be a good friend to have in Congress, especially when we're dealing with a lot of the issues that we're dealing with today. So again, AHOA is on its way to the 15,000 member mark. Hopefully by the end of by December, at least we're on pace to beat that 15,000 member mark. And that's only possible with your participation and your involvement. And I encourage everyone who is not a member to become a member. If you're not a lifetime member, I encourage you to become a lifetime member, and you'll hear more about why that's a good idea. So again, in the last 3 to 4 years, we've seen 35% increase in membership. Lifetime membership has doubled during that time period, and then revenues have grown by 1/3. And all this is because all of our partners, all of our members, they see that AHOA is an organization to be part of. We're the voice of the industry. We're the only hotel owners association that represents you and your concerns within this industry. We're the only ones in this space. We do work with other organizations like AHLA, but AHLA doesn't represent you like we can represent you, because the board is made up of members like you. We think we do, everything we do is making you money, saving you money, protecting your investments. And that's all because we're members just like you. We've been given the opportunity to serve on the board, just like some of the folks here. So let me recognize a couple of guys that they may have been, but CB was on the board for 6 years, representing this region. And then currently we've got 2 DA Director at Larges. We have Sunil Patel right here in the front. And then we have Jayesh Lalu. So the DALs this year have been tasked with making sure that they can help support your regional director, Kopesh, along with his team of ambassadors. Give the ambassadors a round of applause for the work they do, please. And of course, there's a number of other folks that are not here who have also represented this region. This is one of the original regions within AHOA. Unfortunately, they're not here. But again, I appreciate all the work that you guys have done to make this region what it is today. And I look forward to seeing Kopesh and your team, taking it to the next level. We're beyond the 300 membership mark, which is always good because that ensures that you don't go into probation and the region's secure. But let's move towards our goal, which is 370 members for this region.